Hello, everyone. My name is Apolla Asteria, and it's good to be here on this lovely day in Cambria, California. My presentation I normally give is very visual, so I'm going to do my best to talk out the photos that I'm going to be describing at the end here. But for the live viewers on the live stream, you will be seeing a video of these designs of circular communities and vertical gardens, which I'm going to be getting into here. So my presentation for today is on solutions for humanity. But before I get into that, I just want to introduce myself a little bit. I am a disclosure activist. By that, I mean I'm an activist in regards to disclosure of ufology and, basically like reverse backwards engineered technologies and free energy technology. Because I feel that is definitely something that is very important right now. And I'm usually a speaker in the UFO disclosure community, also in like conspiracy kind of conferences and things like that. Also, I'm the host of the YouTube channel Apolla Odyssey. I just started it back in November. So please go ahead and subscribe. Would be very awesome of you. Also, I like to describe myself as an exopolitician. So exopolitics is basically the future of government. So it's basically what exopolitics is it's coined by Michael Salla, who is a major political person in the UFO field. And so exopolitics is the future of government as concerned with or creating or influencing policy towards extraterrestrial phenomena and extraterrestrial beings. So I don't know if you've all been paying attention to the news lately over the past few years or the past year. A lot has been coming out in regards to disclosure. People used to call people that were into ufology conspiracy theorists, but now this is very much something that is at the top of news all over the place. We had the 180 days till full disclosure, and to me and people like myself in the UFO community, we're very excited about this because what this means is the release of free energy technology, the release of technology that our tax-paying dollars are going into black budget programs, which are basically like the technology they have is years and years advanced from what we could even comprehend. And this means free energy technology. They probably already have anti-gravity technology. You know, like I said, all sorts of technologies that are being repressed that could really bring humanity up on a whole nother level. And the reason why we're not there yet is because there are these, certain corporations that don't want us to have this technology in the hands of the general population. So, and also I come from a background of entertainment. I'm in the entertainment industry. You can look me up on IMDb me, Apolla Asteria. I'm an actor, musician, but, over the past year, I've just really put everything into being an exopolitician because I feel, like I said, that is the future of politics. So, disclosure activism, another thing in regards to that. So my presentation is on solutions for humanity. The future is brighter than you think. And I really felt it was important to give this presentation. I've been doing it over the past 5-6 years at conspiracy, UFO, and spiritual conferences because I feel that on the mainstream media, they're always talking about all the problems in the world. They're never talking about the solutions. So it's how are we able to collectively manifest a brighter future for ourselves as a collective human race if we have no visual perception of what that is? So that's why my presentation is normally very visual. I like to go over these different circular community designs, vertical gardens, and things like that. So I'll be playing that, like I said, on the video at the end of the live stream for the audience here. But I'm going to go over and talk out some of the solutions first. But definitely the best part is what I'll be getting into at the end here with the visual side of things. So the first solution I want to get into is asteroid mining. Asteroid mining, like I said, we're moving into becoming a spacefaring civilization. We have Elon Musk has started SpaceX. We have Blue Origin that has been started by Jeff Bezos, and we have Virgin Galactic, which has been started by Richard Branson. So, obviously becoming a spacefaring civilization and making spacefaring a more commercial thing, commercial spacefarer, is something that's going to be happening in the very near future, if not already. And I feel there is something really important about this, and an amazing solution for humanity is actually asteroid mining. This is really interesting because there's actually tons of minerals that are on asteroids that supposedly our planet, you know, we're running out of these like rare earth minerals and these resources, but there's actually tons of them on these asteroids out there. And if we can just start sending, sending ships out there to start mining these asteroids, we can bring new energy to our planet. And a lot of it, some of these minerals, and I'll just describe a few: gold, cobalt, iron, manganese, molybdenum, nickel, OCM, palladium, platinum, rhenium, rhodium, ruthenium, and tungsten can all be mined, but some of these have to do with nuclear fission technology. And supposedly, if you read the book by Asteroid Mining by Brooks Agnew, he's an engineer who gets very into this, and I definitely recommend picking up that book. But I feel that this is the reason why all these billionaires are racing to get to outer space. It's not just commercial space fair, but it's basically being able to go out and start mining these asteroids, because that's where the gold is right now. And I think that's going to be an amazing solution for the future of humanity. Now, my second solution here, sounds really wild, but it's actually a really incredible idea, but obviously it will take a major process to do. But restoring the global energy grid, or AKA the pyramids all over the planet. So we have pyramids all over the planet that were built by, you know, either ancient civilizations or aliens, who knows who built them. But these pyramids are basically on this like energy grid that at one point powered the whole planet. I love listening to the research by Larry Dean Hunter, this amazing architect. So basically what he did in his research, he's an archaeologist in Egypt. I'm sorry, I said architect, I mean archaeologist. He's an archaeologist in Egypt. And he studied the pyramids, and he found there's a slight indentation on the ratio, a ratio of indentation on all four sides of the pyramid. So there's actually 8 sides on the Pyramid of Giza. And he took that ratio of the indentation of them and put them into the solar panels that are in the solar panel fields outside Vegas, because they kept exploding. And when he put the slight indent, the ratio of the exact indent of the side of the Great Pyramid into these mirrors of the solar panels outside Vegas, they stopped exploding. So basically what these are like solar panels. And he always says the term, like if you blink once, blink twice, light has already gone around the planet 8 times. So the pyramids used to be sited in white limestone. And if you look at them from above, they look like a circuit board, basically. And so I know this sounds like a major operation, but if we can side all the pyramids back with white limestone, they're basically Tesla coil technology, and it would be free energy to power the entire planet. And I personally believe that that might have been what they were once used for. So I think it would be amazing if we could go into a restoration process of the pyramids. My third solution for humanity is community service projects. Today we have Skate Cambria here, who is obviously looking for donations to start their skate park, and I think this is really incredible. I was actually born into a family with a younger brother who had a very rare liver disease. He was actually, my mom had to give him part of her liver. He almost died from the whole incident. And this was when I was in 2nd grade and he was 2 years old. And the surgery cost like $500,000. So my community really came together to help my family out at the time. And he is alive and doing well now. And for me, community service projects are so important. And ever since then, when I saw the way my community came together for me and my family, community service projects have always been very important to me. And there's so many amazing things that are going on in every community. I'm living in LA currently, and in my community there, we have Disclosure Fest, which is a very amazing organization where we go out and do elder initiatives, Starseed initiatives, which are basically working with children in impoverished areas. We also go down to Skid Row and pass out food to the homeless, usually at least once a month. So, it's really amazing. I think it really starts with the communities and giving back to your community. That is the number one solution for humanity, in my opinion. My next solution is holistic healthcare. The way that healthcare is designed in the current era, it's like basically they're looking for customers, not patients. So, it's the pharmaceutical industry. They have all these doctors just like give all these patients all these drugs that basically if they take these drugs, you end up needing 10 more drugs to help fix the problems that one drug gives you when they're not actually curing holistically the actual problem that you had in the first place and looking at what caused the issue. So I really feel that healthcare should move into being more holistic, and it's really amazing because going around giving this presentation at different conferences, I've met a lot of individuals who have been starting healing centers, and I myself is someone, I don't know if any of you out there are into any sort of energy healing practices, but I myself have learned several different modalities throughout my lifetime, and whether you believe in if energy work helps or not, just the idea of having healing centers where they give herbs instead of just pharmaceutical medications, but herbs and homeopathic medicines. Also, there's new technology that are frequency devices that have been discovered to cure cancer and many other diseases. A lot of those are kind of, like the blueprints are kind of hidden right now, but some people out there do have it. They just can't really expose themselves too much with the technology, or the pharmaceutical industry comes after them. So that's another amazing solution. Also, we have this medical pod technology, which supposedly started coming out from the secret space program, but we have this medical pod technology that is being released in China and other places right now, which will basically, you get in a pod and it can like do surgery on you without having actual people like they're doing it. So there's a lot coming out technology wise in regards to the healthcare industry. Education. So some solutions for education is I really feel that education should be geared towards the individual. So when a child goes into school, I feel like they should be able to take kind of maybe standardized testing or something at the very beginning of school to start going into classes that are more geared towards their own personal skill set. I think if this started happening from the very beginning and children could start developing who they are from the very beginning in regards to where their skills and assets are, I think it would make for a more successful individuals in the future. Also with education, I feel that meditation should be used in place of detention. This is actually, there's been a lot of studies done on this, and it's actually helped a lot of individuals because most children in schools that act out a lot are usually from homes that are, not really the best home environment. A lot of times, they come from abusive parents, or, their parents are going through a divorce or something. So usually meditation in a place of detention really works wonders. And also yoga in schools, I think that would be an amazing thing for the education system. In regards to politics, I just want to say I fully support the Free and Equal Elections Committee. I think it's amazing getting rid of the two-party system and making it so that every party can run on an equal platform is probably the number one solution in politics, in my opinion. It's like all they're trying to do is divide and conquer. It's a divide and conquer agenda, and it's been that way for a long time. And I think and obviously there's these other parties that are running, but they can't really actually run on an equal platform. They can't debate on an equal platform. So I fully believe that if every party was able to run on an equal platform and we truly had these other options, I feel like that would get rid of the separation that is happening right now in politics, which, as we have seen over the past few years, has gotten completely out of control. And also with politics, I feel blockchain voting is an amazing option with that, and also electing think tanks into office where it's like, like senators and Congress people are people that are experts from their different areas of studies, and not just people that are coming in to just be a politician, but people that are actually have been through years of studies in whatever their profession is. So the last thing in regards to politics, a lot of people, like I said, there's this whole divide and conquer separation kind of agenda that's been playing out. And another side of that aspect of that is people tend to argue globalism versus nationalism. So globalism is the idea of opening up borders in order to bring the entire world together under one economic and political umbrella, with the presumption that peace can be achieved through the creation of a single system of international law, which has the ability to trump the national laws of sovereign countries. Nationalism is the idea of protecting the sovereignty of individual countries in order to preserve the current culture and the economy of such society. So I feel that the solution to this is, I feel that globalism and nationalism are both, should be two sides of the same coin. We shouldn't be looking at this versus that. I feel that we should really bring them together, and I feel it's really being a community-oriented society, whether it's just, focusing on the community that is around you, but also focusing on the entire human community, the entire planet, and the entire human community, that our entire collective. And I feel that this is actually very much a representation of what it means to be a matriastic society. We've been in this patriarchal society over the past 2,000 years, and before that we were in a matriarchal society, or matriastic, and I think we're going to be moving back towards that, where it's going to be a community-oriented society. And that doesn't mean, we're only going to be nationalism, or it's only going to be globalism. It means nationalism and globalism. We're going to be focusing on our own communities and focusing on the human planet as a community. So my other solution for humanity is the Venus Project. And this is my favorite part of the presentation. This is the part where it gets very visual, but obviously I can't pull up the photos right now. I'll have them play a video at the end of my presentation here. But if any of you haven't heard of the Venus Project, please do yourself a favor and look it up. It's basically these amazing designs of circular communities, where the communities are all designed so that the main community centers are in the center, and then there's these kind of parks and gardens on the outer rings, hydroponic grow areas in the outer rings. And I just want to make a disclaimer that the Venus Project, they do say that they want it all run by AI, and I don't agree with that aspect of it. I don't think that would be a good idea, but I do love their designs, and all their designs are something that can be built right now, that are run completely off free energy and are completely self-sustaining communities. So the Venus Project is an organization that proposes a feasible plan of action for social change, a holistic global socio-economic system called a resource-based economy that works towards a peaceful and sustainable global civilization. It outlines an alternative to strive toward where human rights are not only paper proclamations, but also a way of life. So a community-centered culture, basically what that means is that, Earth is obviously abundant with technologies and resources, and our practice of rationing resources through monetary control is no longer relevant and is counterproductive to our survival. So, I normally read a lot here, but I just want to get into the idea of these circular communities, because obviously you can't see the photos of them up here, but it's basically where like the community centers would be in the center. And then there's like kind of apartment areas in the outer rings. And if you want your own home, that can be way past the outer rings, instead of living in an apartment type area. But in the apartment type buildings, there will be the healthcare center is going through the center of the building. So, and it's all the roads are in rings. So the community center is in the center, and then there's rings that kind of come out, these concentric rings. And each ring, under it has a garbage disposal system running under the road. And all the roads being circular, that is a great way to reduce, or save energy, because usually when you drive out and you get errands done, you're going out all over in all directions. But if you're in a circular community, you just go out and you go in a circle and come right back where you started when you're running errands. So it's really amazing. And they also, with the infrastructure they have designed for this, they've also set up airports that are the same way, where the airplanes would come in and kind of go in like circles. So it actually saves a lot of land space, and I think it's really amazing. I wish you could see the photos of it, but like I said, it'll be in a video at the end here. So a free energy oriented culture, obviously we have all these free energy devices, you know, and there's like blueprints that can be implemented into our society. And obviously that has to do with, like I said at the beginning, the importance of full disclosure is so important that we have these technologies released to the general public so that we can live in a free energy culture. They talk about, you know, climate change and all these problems in the world, but I feel that these corporations that are pushing these agendas, they know that they're the problem. And the problem is that we do have these free energy options, but we're just not using them, and they don't want us to use them. You know, so I think that's, you know, something that's happening right now. And I think if we had full disclosure, then, you know, we wouldn't have these problems. But, you know, we do have these different resources, which the Venus Project has made designs, and all the designs in the Venus Project are working through these energy sources, which are solar energy, wind energy, oh, sorry, I lost my spot here. Geothermal, wave power, tidal, and thorium, and let me see here. Ocean thermal energy conversion, hydroelectric energy, underwater turbines, and that's all. So normally I get into what each of those mean, but like I said, if you look at these amazing designs by the Venus Project, they are all powered by these energy resources that we already have, which wouldn't be off rare earth mineral type sources. So let me see here. Also, what's amazing about the Venus Project is they have these what I like to call laser excavators, which are I wish I could show you a picture, but they're like these giant laser excavators that there's like a laser thing at the bottom, and it can literally hollow out a canal like instantly. And this is like technology we already have, and basically what it could do is hollow out canals from the ocean all the way into the middle of deserts and bring water into the middle of the desert. So I'm really fascinated by this idea because I read the series. I don't know if any of you have heard of the movie Dune or the series Dune, the sci-fi series. It's all kind of originally started from the idea of re-terraforming planets. The author who started the whole series, he had the idea of re-terraforming planets from being a journalist and working up here in Northern California. And as a journalist, he had to study this project that was going on where the sand dunes up in Northern California on the one were blowing over the roadways and causing major issues. So these people came in and started doing this kind of project where they started putting these planting these sort of shrub bushes over the dunes to keep the sand from blowing over the roadways. And that's actually what inspired the whole idea of the Dune series, or the Dune movie franchise, which will be probably starting pretty soon here. I know the first one's coming out soon. I'm really stoked about that. A lot of people don't know. If you haven't read the book, you don't really realize how much he's about re-terraforming the planet. And I think that's an amazing idea. And I think if we could use these laser excavators to start hollowing out, you know, canals from like oceans into the middle of deserts, you know, we could really, or, you know, just like streams into like areas that don't have water and that are coming down from mountains. We can seriously re-terraform our entire planet very easily with this kind of technology. So, you know, normally I kind of talk about some of these designs that I would be showing here, but I will say, okay, so another option we have here besides the Venus Project is Earthships. So Earthships, I'm sure a lot of you know about those, but they're basically self-sustaining homes. It's different than the Venus Project. It's its own idea, and they're made completely from recycled items where they kind of recycle the water is filtered through the entire home like 4 times before being deposited into a field nearby. And there's solar panels. It's charged with solar panel technology, and they have their own greenhouses, and they can be really beautifully well made. So I really like these designs too. And they have little to no heating or cooling systems because the way that they're built, the materials they're built with, they kind of heat and cool themselves. And because they have their own greenhouses, which the water circulates through, you can actually grow your own food, your own vegetables constantly. Another amazing design solution that I have for humanity is vertical gardens. So I'm from the Midwest. Originally, I was born and raised in the Midwest in Illinois, and it's just cornfields for miles and miles and miles. But you look at these skyscrapers, and so with vertical gardens, basically what they are like skyscrapers or gardens that grow up vertically. So it's like skyscrapers that have an entire hydroponic grow on each floor. But what's amazing about these, and they're really amazing designs, but what's really incredible about these is, instead of, wasting all this like land, and not that farming is a bad thing, but, instead of growing on all this land, you can grow up and have it all hydroponic and be able to control the climate with it. And what's also amazing is, I wish I could show you the photos here, but you can actually even do these on the outsides of buildings that are, functioning as office buildings. So like, your office building can have these hydroponic grow systems going around the outside of the building, or like the inner like ring or the outer ring of the building. And the office buildings could even be growing their own food for the cafeteria, and then they could be making like vegan food in the cafeteria off the food that they're growing on the building. And it's actually like a really beautiful look. So, the viewers that are watching online will be able to see these photos and what they actually look like. So that was my presentation. I'm sorry, that was like a lot to go through there. I wish you could have seen the photos and the designs. But I just want to end with one thing. This is one of my favorite quotes. It's by Mother Teresa. We the willing, led by the unknowing, are doing the impossible for the ungrateful. We've been doing so little for so long. We are now qualified to do anything with nothing. Thank you.